It's the book of Romans chapter 8. 8. It's like in Romans chapter 8 and verse 28, and it reads, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are the called according to his purpose." I'm going to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to call William Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders, to the apostles that I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning, Lord willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribing to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. Brother, y'all stop coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh. Hashem Yahushai, Yahweh meaning he is, he exists, or he to be, by Hashem, by his end, his dash, his name. Yahushai meaning he saves, or he deliverer. True names of the Most High God and the Son, who people ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. This lesson is inspired by a multitude of things, but you know, it's funny when you try to go past a lesson. You know how the Lord will put the Spirit on you to do a lesson. I try to avoid this, especially due to the fact that a lot of brothers been making videos and responses to that whole we ain't fucking with the affiliates, something along the lines of that. It's spiritual because, again, like I started this job Monday, and the guy running the job, he Northern Kingdom, so me and him was chopping it up, and he was telling me about how he pretty much lost it. Like, he went from doing what I'm doing to pretty much running the job, which is an accomplishment. Although I'm not interested in, you know, like doing that, you know, but just to give, you know, credit and props and, you know, the man is roses, because again, I can imagine, you know, he Northern Kingdom, these Edomites, they probably looking at him like he's a goofy nigga, because they might not call them niggas, but they look at him like niggas. And he was telling me about how he lost his job like 3 or 4 times, and we was going into like he was saying how he was gonna be running late. You know how to be running late. He throw his shit at the thing. He was like, the guy would call him, or he'd call the guy. He'd be like, "You got 1 minute to get here." And if he ain't getting there in that 1 minute, he'll lose the job. So we was talking. I'm like, I know what you mean. I've been there before, and I'm like, at the same time, I'm not a child anymore. You know what I mean? Like, in my younger years, yeah, I've lost jobs for the dumbest shit, walked off jobs. But you know, I'm a little bit older now, so I look at shit a lot differently. And, saying all that to say, I was thinking about, because he was like, I was like, "So how you get the job back?" He was like, "I would call and beg him." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So it made me think, because you know, I remember when I walked away from the camp, by the way, because everybody got an opinion. I ain't gonna get rude or none of that. I mean, I lightweight, you know, but if it come out rude, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, you know. Because I heard a man I respect, I would like to say a brother I respect. You know, I don't know if it be me, if I'm really crazy, or if they be just talking to me, you know what I mean? But anyhow, a lot of people be speaking on stuff that they don't even really understand the whole magnitude of, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say this much. I'm more humble than what Jake thinks. So, you know, if it was as easy as just coming on the other side and standing on the other side, you know, I'd have did that. But if you tell me you don't want me somewhere, why would I choose to come? Now, yeah, I'm chasing the Lord, you know what I mean? Like, so the thing is, I don't really give a fuck about what a man think like me, you know. The scriptures talk about understanding the will of the Lord. When I very first left the camp, I came the very next week and was willing to stand on the other side. I was told not to come back down there. Then it's a brother that reaches out to me. He a good brother, you know, beautiful spirit. Now, I don't know why he's reaching out. I don't know if he's reaching out because he's, you know, just one of them caring brothers, or if he feel guilty about something. Nonetheless, he reached out. He was like, "Come down." My instinct, my spirit was like, the spirit, because that's a spirit. The spirit was like, "Nah," you know what I mean? But I sat back and I meditated on it, and then I called him and I was like, you know, "Yeah, I'm gonna come," you know. So he was like, "Yeah, God." So he was happy about it. And then we let the week go by, and I haven't been down there in so long, so I don't know. I don't even watch the videos like that. When I used to watch them, and Shalom or whatever, you know, they blocked me. So, you know, anyhow, So I don't know what the start times and whatnot, because like I say, I rarely watch the videos. I mean, I've seen some in passing, but I don't know exactly what times I'll be watching. I watch a lot of videos. Anyhow, so I'm noticing when I'm hitting him up trying to find out what time they had camp, he ain't responding. So finally I call, and he hit me back like, oh yeah, I'm at work, yada, 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 I'm gonna hit you back. So pretty much I kind of already knew through the spirit it was gonna go like this, because I just knew through the spirit, put it like that. Jake was like, well, he was like, the spirit saying you can't come or come down there at the right time. So I'm thinking to myself like, with all this shit going on, this ain't the right time. But so anyhow, the funny part is I know spirit's supposed to be in unison. Can two walk together? At least they be agreed. So of course, when they have councils, they're gonna all come with the same conclusion. But anyhow, why was he in one spirit to reach out? And then the thing with the whole affiliate camp thing is I didn't feel any kind of way about it. What I did say was I found it funny. My lot is so funny because everybody can admit that 2025 it turned up as far as prophecy. Prophecy's always been happening, but 2025 I've heard too many brothers say, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of prophecy. Prophecy popcorn. Prophecy is popping like popcorn. Just all prophecy, prophecy, prophecy." And I just found it funny when I chose to walk away from the camp. That's when a lot of stuff started turning up. Now, I'm not saying it had nothing to do with me, but the odds of something like that happening are like lottery number odds type shit. Like, I mean, for you, and you have all, I mean, you got me and those leaving at the same time and all that. But the thing is, that's still trying to do the work. That's the difference. So, again, I didn't feel any kind of way about it. If anything, if by, shutting the doors maybe the elders probably been needed to do that. At the end of the day, if that's going to help further prophecy, call Lawyer like Yahweh Shemal Shabbat. You know what I mean? That's because that's what I'm on. Like the brother said, team prophecy. But point being, I'm going to reread this, Romans 8 and verse 28 in the NLT. And we know that the Most High causes reread, and we know that the Most High causes everything to work together for the good of those who love the Most High and are called according to his purpose for them. So something that could be devastating, something that could be, you're like, why, Lord? That's all for, it's because it's the will of the Lord. Scriptures talk about understanding the will of the Lord. So if I came down there and was told not to, you know what I mean? If I literally, they pretty much, and the thing is this, I was in the spirit of not going. So like, that's the spirit, right? At the end of the day, again, like I said, I'm not really concerned about what man think. We all go off. Ain't none of us righteous. We all pieces of shit. We all trying to strive to be, more like Yahweh Shai. But again, I would never make it seem like I'm the shit or this, and trust me, I mean, the energy in Israel will have you feeling like that, it's a beautiful thing to come back to your heritage. And just some men have a certain or exude a certain amount of confidence, I remember Jake was laughing at me because I'd rather have given a bitch some money and get what I want to get out of her face, because I don't know what I might, Like, I don't want to play no game with no bitches. I don't, And then the Lord still gave me a woman, because I probably need a woman. I don't know how to raise no girl. But like the elder said, this ain't the time for a woman. So if she can't take the way that I'm dealing with her, then, may the Lord forgive me. You know what I mean? I've said it several times. I never want to be put in certain positions. Yet and still I was put in positions. Now the funniest part about it is this. I'm such on a low level, right? Yet and still one of the men that everybody praises as being on a high level. Because the thing is this. I'm being scopelled, right? But it's so much, I question, I hear certain things. And I'm like, well, damn, if I'm being scopelled, it got to be somebody else being. But when I was a little child, I was told, don't concern yourself with other people, what they got going on. Concern yourself, pay attention to what you got going on, But, again, I didn't get kicked out. I left because it would have been disrespectful. It would have been, I would have been disrespecting the elder. It would have been ugly. What we gonna do? Fake it? Like he suggested. He suggested we fake it. He said, "You keep your children over here. I'm gonna keep my children over there, and then we gonna still do camp, and we gonna fake it on screen like we brothers, but we really do." Until the point when the Lord killed one of us. Huh? I don't know who or better yet, maybe I'm the demon. Since somebody got to be blamed for something, I'll be the blame. I'm the maybe because at the end of the day, the Lord did do a separation for whatever reason. I know Jake probably watching just to see if I'm literally when he gonna change the doctrine so you could call me the frickin' frack. Hey, and the thing is this: I would never sell out because I could have sold out. Years ago, and then take myself through all this fucking turmoil and pain. But again, I'm gonna say one last time, because 3 is a charm. I really don't care what man think. I'm more concerned with what the Lord think. And if the Lord loving me and thinking I'm beautiful, then may the Lord be with whom He's with. I'm gonna say it like that. So I got some scriptures because again, I really sat back and debated and thought about this. I wasn't even gonna do the lesson on this, but again, like you can't force nothing. I remember when they was basically gonna cross a brother over, they was like, I found out they asked him a serious questions, and one of the questions was, how do you know something is the Lord's will? And through the Spirit, he was in the Spirit. He said, because it happens. Right. So that happened, right? And I could have faked it. I could have been like some of the other Jakes. Oh, I ain't going to say nothing. I feel this. Anytime I felt some kind of way, I said something. It was the other Jakes that was up there feeling some kind of way and then smiling in the face. But you feel this kind of way. I didn't do that. I was the one speaking up for shit that people were saying. But whatever, man. Again, I got way more stuff to worry about than, the average person that got an opinion about this. Again, they say go to, seek better counsel and whatnot. I could, I'm going to say something because Jake made a statement. He was like, don't try running to us when all hell break loose when you need help. I've been without the brothers for like a year and 3 months. Everything that could have possibly happened by myself has happened. I went to jail, just all kind of goofy shit. Demon up here, demonic ass nigga, like all kind of shit, right? And at the end of the day, the Lord has been by my side the whole time. I remember I was in the camp and felt like I was by myself. And I still ain't never shitted on the brotherhood. I mean, of course, who wouldn't feel some kind of way if somebody So saying all that to say this, again, I never felt no kind of way about the fact that the elder said we ain't fucking with no affiliates. Which they still are fucking with the affiliates. They just not fucking with all the affiliates. Which is cool with me. You know what I mean? Again, I would never disrespect the elders intentionally. The Lord put the Spirit on the one elder to say that. And the elder apostle said it. Because, you got to be in agreement. Trust me, I get it. It just was like everybody's in agreement against me. So again, maybe I'm the demon. So if I'm the demon and I'm on the outside looking, maybe it ain't got nothing to do with maturing or anything or meditating or my meditation time. Maybe it's just I'm the demon. And I'm sure if the Lord judge me, y'all all gonna sleep well at night, right? It's the book of Romans 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And what's the will of the Most High? If He brought you into this thing, you need to continue in the things you learned. I was listening to the elder, the beloved elder apostle, and he said, brothers talking about they tired. He said, well, brother, you got to get up out of that spirit. He said, because how can you be weary and well doing? And that shit cut. Because I want the brothers to be talking about I'm tired, which I am, though. You know what I mean? It's easy to say some shit when you got a household and a wife. And Jake can sit up there and I empathize, but no, you fucking don't. You don't really care as long as it ain't you. I've heard Jake say it. Better you than me. Better y'all than us. Right. that's cool. Scripture talk about knowing the mind of the Lord. You know what I mean? You can really say, I heard Jake say everything. Jake said, this is why that happened. Oh, yeah. This is the book of Romans chapter 11 and verse 34. For who have known the mind of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or who have been his counselor? The scriptures say the Most High thoughts are not your thoughts. So how can you truly say why the Lord did what he did? Now, again, we try to please him by doing what the scriptures say. But then the Lord, like with King David eating the showbread, you know what I mean? Right. The Lord allows some certain things to happen just because that was his will. And the scriptures tell you that all things bend to the will of the Lord. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus of Sirach, chapter 18, starting at verse 1, and it reads, He that liveth forever hath created all things in general, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The Lord only is righteous, and there's none other but he. Go back to that again. It says, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai only is righteous. So our righteousness is as filthy rags. So, you know what I mean? Again, I said, talking about judging and judges and whatnot. I said my favorite book was the Judges. I never said I was a judge. If I was a judge, I'd be Judge Dredd. Verse 3, who governeth, but he'll be a Jake. He wouldn't be no Edomite. Who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. For he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane. So something is not right while, something right. Again, I met many righteous, beautiful, spirited brothers in the truth and in the camp. But my question is, why would I go back? Because he was like, that's your region. If you got a bad report or whatever the case may be. I got a bad report, but I never was kicked out. That was just the mercy, huh? But it's already exposed what took place, right? So my question is this, because my instinct was like not to go down there, right? But then the brother, made me think about it. I was like, damn, sincerely, I do want that though, right? Because I don't really harbor any ill will if I can just speaking about it because that bothered me. I don't fuck with nobody. I left the world behind and dealing with brothers to see some worldly shit. My question is this: why would I go back to some people? I ain't gonna say people is because I still I only had like certain interactions with certain individuals. Why would I? That's just like one individual doing something and you blaming the whole thing. You can't do that. That's why I never did it. But if I don't trust individuals and I know how this moving, why they're talking about going to higher ups. I couldn't even, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't even get them to pay attention to the young Jake. And again, like I said, that was his right to do what he chose to do, whatever the case may be. My whole thing was I wish I'd have did like them and leaned back because that shit stressed me out. You know what I mean? I should have moved like they did. But the Lord had the spirit on me to be all like, and I wasn't trying to rule over him. How the fuck you make it seem like I had him washing the dishes and washing my drawers and shit. Like, you got it though. So at the end of the day, it's the world, the Lord that's, the scriptures tell you in the book of Proverbs chapter 21 that the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. So you're going to do the will of the Lord regardless. So Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil, doing the utmost, especially now, not slacking. Or maybe some individuals got a closer knit bond and they know when the Lord coming or something. Verse 17, so maybe they know something that I don't know. Wherefore be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is. So it'd be foolish to keep on going back down there or trying to go down there if they don't want me down there, right? And the thing is, I ain't gonna say fine, but I accepted my lot. So if I was to, the Lord was to just leave me and my children, I gotta accept that. Why the fuck you care? I knew what I was facing when I walked away. So I'm supposed to be fake. I think the Lord more pleased with me not being a snake or being having 11 just sitting in the congregation. Because you really think that was going to be just cool? This man dismissed me like I was a fucking child, like he was Esau and I'm a nigga. Not supposed to just sit there. No, that shit would have been like Satan would have came and either jumped on me or him, or the Lord would have killed one of us. Like you niggas, that was like one of the smartest things I've ever done. Because again, that's how much I believe in the scriptures. The Lord tested me enough. I didn't want to go through that test. So ultimately, ended with Matthew. Well, I got two last scriptures. Because at the end of the day, this is not going to be a happy story. Motherfuckers, Slovakia. Individuals are about to lose shit. This is about to be so dramatic. It's not going to be everybody. You're going to lose men along the way. I remember the one elder from Chicago was talking about he had a vision or he said a dream. I can't remember. But he was crying though. He said he woke up out of it crying because a beloved brother, ended up giving up the ghost to protect other brothers. I seen brothers sit up there and say they don't even want to like kick it with brothers, but they gonna give up the ghost for the brother. You don't even want to be around this man. And I can't say that he ain't willing to do it because I don't know him well enough. But I just know when you say the time to say something like that and then your actions doing that, that's hard to believe to me. This is the book of John chapter 6. And I'm not trying to fuck with nobody's faith or nothing like that. The thing was, I did what I did to hold on to my faith. This is the book of John chapter 6 and verse 10. And Yahushua said, make the men sit down. This is the wrong scripture. I must be tired. Is it 16? I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong book. So lucky. It's the book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse 10, and it reads. I'm gonna start at verse 9. After this manner pray, Salaki, after this manner, therefore pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. So the Lord or the Heavenly Father's Abanawa Yahweh's will be done. Not our will, Jake said, you must don't like, how you say? He said you must don't like going to camp. You can go out when you want to go out. You can do. Now again, maybe he was talking to somebody else. I highly doubt he was talking to somebody else, but we could do that too. But I haven't missed but like one camp out of the years I was with the brothers, and that was because of my children actually left the house one day. So if I didn't have a babysitter, I feel, and now I leave them to, and I go to the camp by myself. At the end of the day, what our will we think how we think it's supposed to go doesn't mean that's the way it's supposed to go. And again, I'm gonna reiterate it one last time. Since somebody got to be the demon, I'll be the demon. I pray that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua doesn't look at me like the demon. Or if I am a demon, the righteous one. Our right hand demon, a right hand intelligence. You know what I'm talking about? This book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 42. The Garden of Gethsemane, starting at verse 39, and it reads, and he came out and went as he was wont to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not in temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast and kneeled down and prayed. Verse 42 saying, Father, if thou be so like your Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. I'm going to reread it in the NLT. Father, if you are willing, please take this cup of suffering away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine. And that's what it's ultimately about. What's that? Isaiah 46. And verse 10 is the point, though. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. So it's all about the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, what it tells you in the book of Romans, I believe it talks about both basically being born and not doing any evil. The Most High chose, Esau, to be the wicked and Jacob to be the righteous. So, I mean, ultimately, again, I'm accepting of whatever my fate is. You know, and if the Lord wanted me to be down there, then they would have let me come down there. So I doubt it's going to be any reconciliation. That's cool too, though, because again, if the Lord be for us, who can be against us, right? So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem. Wadash double honors to the elders, to the apostles that I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aquat that they're listening and learning, Lord willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharala and Mawaf Lababal.